Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Lori and this is
And I'm
Sarah.
Sarah.
We're into what is it? Into the blue. I feel like we should say
Into
that
the
in unison.
blue. Yes, we are into the
But
blue.
Into the blue channeling with Lori and Sarah, your official name. But we were talking off camera because the energies are very strong right now. I don't know if you're feeling it whenever you're watching this. I'm sure they're probably still strong, but we thought it would be kind of interesting because we do open up the Akashic Records before we get started. We've kind of talked about that in previous videos, but that's how Sarah and I met. Um, and so whenever I first reached out to her, it was because she was an Akashic Records reader. And we thought it'd be a little helpful for her to explain what exactly the Akashic Records are, how, you go into them and what they're all about and why they're helpful. So, Sarah, can you want to explain kind of to our listeners and viewers like more about that?
Absolutely. So I am a Akashic Records reader. I actually learnt with Linda Howe. Um, but my method has kind of gone off in a slightly different direction since. But I found out about the Akashic Records very randomly, and it seemed like almost like a remembrance, and it pulled me right in, and I
Yeah.
was just drawn right to it. But essentially, so the Akasha or the Akashic Records are a library, like a database of all the information, like the
Hmm.
everything.
So like
Um,
past, present, future, all
yes,
timelines, like okay.
everything.
Yeah.
So every person or every being has their own Akashic records. So any listener watching, you have your own Akashic records, which is unique to you. Even so animals have Akashic records, houses have Akashic records, and relationships. There's Akashic records of relationships, which is what Laurie and I tapped into. But essentially it's so powerful, and I do think um it's just so powerful because it is specific to you, and it's
Hmm.
tapping into your higher self and all of your lifetimes and all that is. And so I found giving readings for people to be incredibly healing in
Hmm.
ways that are unexpected. But yes, essentially, Laurie and I, after we met, she wanted to cash a reading, and so I did one for her, and that was really fun. And
And really
then a
good and
little,
accurate.
yes, thank you. And a little while later, when we were realizing, okay, we definitely have lifetimes together, alternative lifetimes together, and so we decided let's try opening a joint Akashic Records, which is something I did do for a couple of friends previously with success. So that's when we kind of launched into this and met the Pleiadian Group of Nine. And clearly it just kind of really took off. And so
Yeah,
that's why we started Into the Blue. But I
I love
hope
that.
that provides a little bit of background information. And I would say again that Laurie and I do private sessions where we can
Hmm.
channel the PG9 through our joint records. Or I can also do private readings of an individual listener's Akashic records as well. So go on our website and hit us up if that's of interest.
Right. You can get a twofer or a one for. What was so funny,
Exactly.
Sarah? This was what was kind of cool with me and Sarah when I think even in that very first one when you opened mine up, that's where we started realizing because I was starting to see what she was seeing of like my own. And so we started realizing something is here. That's how tapped in we kind of were because I was starting to see the stuff in real time as she was talking about it, and that clued me in. I think that's when we started talking about PG9 or something like that. And so I remember from that very get-go where I was like, this is really powerful stuff, like that even your own intuition gets heightened whenever, they're opened. And so it was just a whole cool thing, which can lead from one thing to another, which is what showed us to do our joint and then do it in real time. So pretty cool.
Yes.
I love it.
Great. And
All
also, this
right.
is our 10th episode of Into the
Woohoo.
Blue.
I
Yay!
can't believe it's been that long. Wild.
So, yes, let's celebrate and let's get
We will
started
celebrate.
then.
Cola's here too, everyone. Cola the mascot. If you know, you know, you've watched the koala episode. All right, let's get started.
actually, my immediate chakra that was affected was the throat. I felt suddenly like a
Mine was
sensation
my
in my throat.
teeth. It was all my upper teeth started tingling, and then I felt um a slip in over here, like on the right, like higher self slipping in. My whole body on the right went tingly and numb. So this will be fun.
Okay, let's go. Then we request that we
Mm,
visit and meet with the PG9, the Pleiadian Group of 9. Saying welcome and greetings.
we got some big energy today, Sarah. My whole body is really tingling.
Yes, they seem to be back in their original white room with the big white table. Do you see that?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Um, but we have some extra guests.
hmm
Who are we meeting with today then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
the group of 9 are introducing Ashtar,
Yeah, that's
who
really
is a
strong.
Pleiadian
Galactic
Commander.
Commander.
Yes, want to come through. Oh, I really feel it in the throat for some reason.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Okay, so hello, Ashtar, or I should say hello again, because it's been
yeah.
coming through recently. Um, so to anyone that doesn't know, I probably should describe what he looks like.
hmm
He's smiling at me
Yeah,
because he knows what I'm gonna say next.
yep, I'm getting it real
Because I
strong.
happen to find Ashtar to be incredibly hot.
Yep.
He kind of
I love that
like
we're both
looks
getting like flustered.
He kind of like looks like a bit of like in between Orlando Bloom in Lords of the Rings and like an early Brad Pitt. That's what I'm
hmm
getting. But he has long hair and his hair is like a it's a platinum blonde, yes, but it's like sort of like
It's more yellow blonde.
a more yellowy blonde. Um, Actually, it looks a bit like Laurie's hair looks in this video right now, randomly. Um, but he has a very distinctive chin, a very strong jawline, and he has such a presence. He has very blue
Yeah.
eyes. He has a very, very strong and supportive presence. Um, and he would like to speak to you.
I always get a lot of broad stuff with him right through the shoulders and in the heart, and I'm feeling that too. Like mine feels really expanded, but I get a real strong presence like right with his shoulder. He just feels very like upright. And that just sounds like such a non-term, but I get this very commanding presence, but there's a lot that is up through his upper body area. And I think that does have to do with the leadership communicative abilities that, he speaks with and he leads and commands with his heart. So I'm getting a lot of that pretty strong.
And he has a very deep voice,
hmm
a very authoritative voice. Do you get an accent, by the way? Do you pick up an accent?
It's kind of like how I first heard the PG9 when I told you about it. Kind of sounds British, but it's the best way I know how to like explain it. It sounds kind of cheesy, but like in Star Wars, a lot of those actors do have that kind of a British dialect, and so
Hmm.
it's just not American. I'll say that. It's very not much how I sound.
I was interested in what you were going to say then, because to me, he sounds a bit like Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. It's a very distinct dialect, but it's very masculine, very, very masculine.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so after he just
And
continues to
dude,
smile at me.
I feel like he's like, we got the physicality, move on.
Yes. Okay, he's saying, um, hello, he is Ashtar, the chief commander of the Starship fleets.
I just heard that Starship Fleet, yeah.
Hmm.
Starship Fleet Command, something like that.
Yes. Um, he would like to greet all those listening to this channeling with utmost admiration and love. He says you are taking part in the ascension of planet Earth at a truly magnificent moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
And you should feel you should feel
Like a
proud.
deep sense of pride. Yeah.
Yeah. And he takes great admiration in our bravery. Says, well, this is intense coming from a commander.
Yeah.
Um, so they have been watching with great interest over the past decades, and he acknowledges that now is the moment where a lot of hard work is going to begin to crystallize, he says. Interesting to use a word.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of it's time to step up and lead. And when we're saying lead, it's not it's more, leading with your heart and compassion. This isn't in the earthly realm of how we're used to seeing leaders lead with force. This is leading with love and holding that
Yes.
light in the heart space so that you can, I'm seeing like funneling, like so you can funnel this through to others and to yourself. So just seeing it come in, like, because I'm feeling my crown go off, like as the light kind of funnels in through your crown, it goes out through your heart. And that is what outpours to those around you. And that is true leadership.
Thank you.
Mm.
Yes, I was receiving very much the same things that you just said.
Like
He
making me
says
a
that
little
he's a
emotional.
beacon. Yeah, he says
Mhm.
he's a beacon of light and love. And he repeats something he said to me earlier this week um that we wouldn't believe how much love that they have for
Mhm.
us earthlings. It's like bursting
Yeah,
with love.
I can feel that.
Um, and I think we've channeled this a few times, this suggestion, but he says that the human being's great power is actually in your heart space and
Mhm.
getting out of the head and into the heart space. And
Yeah.
he says more than any other message he can offer today, he would like listeners to connect to their heart and work on growing the frequencies of the heart chakras as much as possible, because this will really help in the months and years to come.
Hmm. Yeah.
And he
That's
says, as we're going through moments of conflict, as we're going through moments of chaos, as things of the old 3D reality fade away, we need to tap into the heart, tap into love, tap into compassion, tap into empathy, and tap into gratitude. This is what will get us through and get us into 5D as a
mhm.
human collective.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you do that, you're dropping the fear. So the fear goes away. There is no room for the fear to even be present when you're in that frequency. And I'm being shown and reminded of what was pouring in last night. Um, I was getting a lot of downloads just out of nowhere while I was listening to a program last night, and it was all about unconditional love. And I'm feeling that in conjunction with what Sarah just said. It is this unconditional love that I'm seeing him express, like um, loving others, yourself, and everything without conditions or limitations. And that is what transcends us again into the 5D. It's a different type of love. We're not used to loving like that in the 3D. We're programmed to, if you give me love, then I'll give you love. It's kind of this back and forth exchange. And I've really been hearing, and I'm seeing it right now, is just this unconditional love that will pour out of your heart. Um, it's not a punishment or a reward system to give love. You just give that love unconditionally from the heart space, and that allows forgiveness to come in for yourself and for others. And that's what, yes, takes us on into the 5D.
That's right. He says love is not transactional. It should
Right.
never have been transactional.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to move away from this belief system, this very limiting belief system, that in order to give love, you must also receive it. And in order to for people to be worthy of love, they must do A, B, and C, and D.
Mm-hmm.
When love should always be unconditional. I'm feeling a lot of pressure in
Yeah,
the
same. It's
head.
becoming like pretty overwhelming.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not an earn system. It's not a, yeah, it's not something that you have to earn or yeah, it's not reward based. This is literally and this doesn't, I can feel stuff popping in over here where I can almost, someone's like raising their hand saying kind of like, this doesn't mean that you don't set boundaries, but this means that you love unconditionally while keeping that support system for yourself and having those energetic boundaries, but without putting conditions on the heart space love. And you can do both. You can do both, and they're leaning into that as such.
Means repeating that they are just bursting full of love
Mhm.
for all beings and for all of humanity. And
Golly, I
he's
can feel that pouring
also,
in.
yeah, he's also encouraging us to consider our love for all beings on the planet.
Mhm.
So more so than loving our neighbor, loving our friends, loving a stranger, but also considering the love and respect and compassion you have for all beings, both of the animal kingdom or of the plant kingdom.
Mhm. Wow. I'm seeing all this white light wrapping around planet Earth as people are as people are doing that from their heart center. I'm seeing this white high vibrational light wrapping in like these kind of like that ribbon thing again. They're wrapping all
Mm,
around Earth, and this, it's making like the Earth like shine and vibrate. And that's from us. That's from, you're saying that's from humans. You have that capacity to love in your heart to transform an entire planet, and that then can transform an entire universe. It's that
yes.
big and it's that strong.
And he says, um, of course, many humans will have knowledge of loving a pet and
Mhm.
having that pure love. But he invites us to stroke a tree or a
Mhm.
plant and express love and gratitude
Mhm.
for them as well.
And
He
even
says, look,
inanimate objects.
yes, yes, yes. Absolutely, absolutely. Just see if you can open yourself up, be open and receptive to the possibility of offering love and compassion
Mm.
to anything at all, anything at all.
Oh
And
my
just
gosh.
see, he says, and see the rewards that you feel back.
That's what I was just perceiving was the
Like it was like,
transformational aspect. Yeah.
yes, like I see like an image of like a ray of light hitting something and then coming right back and like right into the heart center.
I got the
So if we
exact same.
offer love out, we will receive it in kind. And this will
Hmm.
just be wonderful.
This is the imagery Cam was giving me actually 3 days ago, and this makes sense. So I'm gonna open my eyes and just show like she was showing me this motion back and forth of this energetic transfer of like a ball of light. And she kept doing this in my mind's eye. And she was like, it's transformational as it changes you as you love one and then it comes through, you love another and it comes back. And it's so basically it's healing you. So when you let go and you heal and you love someone, boom, then it comes back and it changes you. And all these things are just dropped away. All of these emotions, fears, resentments, frustrations you might have towards someone as you offer that love. It's a transformational aspect and you are healed in return. It was so beautiful. And he's showing me that same thing. I'm seeing it so clear.
Amazing.
Wow. Whew.
Oh, yeah.
That got me.
Me too.
Mm.
Is there anything else you'd like to share this time, Ashtar? I do have a feeling that you're coming back.
Yeah, this is not a one-stop shop. Mm.
Mm.
I'm hearing encouraging others to connect in with him. That he was saying, correct. This is not just a one-stop shop for this channel. This is also for anyone who wants to understand this deeper. He says, I will come and I will answer those questions. So that is a direct invitation to others. And he's saying, just because I'm a commander, that gets in people's heads. They don't think they can go. It's a religious programming. They don't think they can go straight to the top. They think they've got to have intermediaries. And he's saying, no, you can come straight to me, just as Lori and Sarah have done, and I will come to you as well.
Yeah, he says like just don't put he says don't put anybody on a pedestal.
Right.
Nobody at all. Not him, not Angel, not Source itself. Like, do not.
Mhm.
Like, at the end of the day, we are all Source and we are all equals. Um,
Yeah. I just heard him and I saw him do this. He kind of like went, and remember, we're learning from you. We're learning from you just as much as you are learning from us. And they're watching, like, yeah, the human observation of what's going on with us. And that they are taking all of that. So, yes, they're guides, they're in a higher dimension, but they're learning just as much from us as we are from them. It's a collaboration, not a hierarchical thing. So that's really beautiful.
Absolutely. And he says that we Earthlings have taken on a huge mission
Mhm.
to lower our vibrations down into the very thick density of a 3D Earth.
Mhm.
And he
Yeah.
thanks us. He
Yeah.
thanks us for doing so. And for doing, we are helping all that is.
Yeah. He's reminding me of a phrase that I said just 2 nights ago, kind of out of nowhere, where it was actually I think this was just last night in that same state, was that just the very fact that you have awakened up out of amnesia on a planet where you have come in to basically forget everything and wake up and remember who you are, that is no small feat. And that alone, if you are getting to that stage, I mean, obviously, if you're watching this channel or listening to this, you are very much exploring these concepts and awakening yourself. And he's saying, don't dismiss that. That is huge. Oftentimes we think that, flying a ship or going over here and creating, you know, a new world or a new planet or something like that would be bigger, better. And it's like actually the mastery in awakening your consciousness out of deep amnesia is way more to be celebrated if we're gonna put it on a ranking system. So that's very cool.
But he also cautions that the ranking systems are
Yep,
very earthly.
very. Because
And
again, it's
it's a
it's all
3D
simultaneous.
consciousness.
Yeah.
It's a 3D consciousness. So
Yeah.
as much as we can, stop ranking things.
Absolutely. Well, and that goes into, this is Lori speaking, that goes into, quantum theory of it's all happening right now anyways. So don't wish to be somewhere else. You're here, you chose this for a reason, And you can also remember that you are having your galactic lifetimes or another Earth lifetime or whatever. It's all now. So it's not one's better than the other. You get to enjoy it all in this space, which is pretty cool.
Great. Well, we'll say goodbye to you for now. Thank you very much for coming through. We appreciate it.
I almost
Thank
feel
you
like he's
to
going to hang
BG9.
around for Q&As. It won't surprise me because I feel like he's right here for Q&As.
Okay. Thank you for listening to Into the Blue Channeling with Laurie and Sarah. Please do like and subscribe to receive about our upcoming episodes. For further information, including how to submit your own question for Pleiadians, please visit intothebluechanneling.com or find us on social media at Into the Blue Channeling. See you next time!